Hello everybody, Joe Tactical here again. In this video I just wanted to share with you the Stanley Camp Cup, or whatever they call it or whatever. It's kind of like a two-person kit. A couple things I like about it, a couple things I don't like about it. Let me open it up for you here. I like the handle. It locks in place, and I'm going to do a comparison with this and the standard, steel cup that I have in most of my other kits. But the handle's really nice, because if you're on an unlevel surface or something, cooking like in a fire or something like that, the more stable the handle is, the better. I'll do a comparison again with the other steel cup. Also, this has a lid. One of the things I'll say about this lid, if you guys have one of these or you're looking to get it, just understand this little handle, these little welded tabs here are going to come off. When I got this, I got it at Target, and when I got it, I inspected them first, and about 3 on the shelf right next to this, the welds either broke off one side or the other. It's not a big deal, because when that happens, you take your center punch, you punch it right there in the center, you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, hardware store, whatever, or if you have something laying around, and you get a very small cabinet knob, like a stainless steel cabinet knob, and then you just screw it in up there, just like on other pots, old style pots and stuff that use that same method. It will probably transfer the heat to your fingers a little bit. Have a little common sense, have a little something nearby just to grab that off or whatever. Just throwing that out there. So if you see a couple of these broke on the shelf, don't be like, oh, I'm not going to get it because it's junk, it's going to fall apart. They also have a warranty, Stanley does. I don't know what that details. I don't know how they're going to warranty it. But as far as I would be concerned, that weld failing is definitely under any warranty. And if it's not, shame on them. You guys know how I feel about warranties. Also, let's check out the lid a little bit closer here. It has several holes here and then one here. So this could be like a pour spout. And then this would be, of course, your vent. Here's the handle, a little bit closer look. I hope my camera's picking it up good. And the handle flops back and forth. Okay, nothing special there. It looks like it's a good quality product for the most part. All right, let me put that lid aside. Then it comes with these two cups. These are plastic and thick insulated. Okay, this is where all the weight of the cup is. Okay, I don't really like this. All right, and for my gear, it's like I don't need to bring 2 cups for me and somebody else. Everybody carries their own gear. I guess the other side of it, of a different type of application would be, hey, one's for your soup, one's for your coffee or hot chocolate or whatever you're making. Okay, I understand that. Really, it's not worth the extra weight and bulk. With that aside, I'm not even going to use those cups, at least today. But with that aside, this is an awesome piece of kit in itself. Okay, if you just look at it like this, it was 15 bucks at Target. All right, you take the cups away because they're cheesy. You have to replace this little handle. Say it costs you 5 bucks, you're in at 20 bucks, and you have a really awesome camp system. Okay, you could pack your stove in here. You could, you might be able to fit one of those small 2.5 ounce cartridges of the isopropane or whatever, depending on what fuel you're running or something like that. You could also put a fire kit in here, whatever. One of the things that I like about the stainless steel cup is that this stainless steel cup slides right over the Nalgene bottles. Okay, so it's pretty much not taking up any extra bulk, where this is. This doesn't fit over your standard Nalgene size. Now, will some of the narrower Nalgenes or water bottles fit in that? I'm sure they will. But if you do that, you lose the lid capabilities, and then the only thing you really have benefit over something like this would be a better handle and a little bit more of cooking capacity, okay, because it is obviously bigger. And the handle definitely is far superior to this GSI cup here, okay, where this is kind of, kind of cheesy, but it's very functional. So I have no problem with that, and that's pretty good. All right, now let's get to the cooking of this. I'm just going to cook up some chunky grilled chicken and sausage gumbo. By the way, this is awesome. You just have to add some Tabasco, which you will see me do here in a second. Alright, let's get the oven's real old, and I'm too poor to pay money for a new stove because I buy lots of gear. And this is going to sizzle a little bit, but that's okay. If the stove works, you know, I don't see a point in replacing it. Alright, and you see that this soup here, this is 18.8 ounces. Okay, that's a big can. And just to show you the capacity, this is where this style of stove or container shines. They have little graduations on the other side, and by the way, this is hot, so don't touch it. But they have little graduations where it says 20 ounce. So if you can just imagine just a hair under the 20 ounce mark, and that's where this fills up. And you see we have a couple inches from the top to the bottom. That's really good if you wanted to, say, cook for a couple people, and you wanted to thicken this up and maybe throw a can or half a can or a small can of beans or something, just to make a thick, hearty meal. Also with other cooking different things. Also, if you had to boil water to be able to purify the water, get rid of all the bacteria and stuff, it would be good to do the most you could to be most efficient instead of, you know, your standard 16 ounces at a time. And we got to have the hot sauce. Got to. You got to. I don't even buy the little... I don't even buy this size anymore. And I'm going to be getting the gallons. Just I stepped up this size of Tabasco just because I wanted to see, like, I didn't want to get too much and have it go bad. I think it's good for a year. But I got to tell you something. The rate that I've been going through this, I haven't had it that long. I would go through a gallon in less than a year. We're going to crank the heat up a little bit. Actually, a good bit. And I don't know about you guys, but if you eat soup like this, always cook it in a pan. Don't ever cook it in the microwave. It tastes like the can when you get done, and what's the point of that? Oh, this is real fun. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. There you go. Sorry about the lighting. It is what it is. And you know what? I'll try that lid. Just to get an idea. It seems like a very efficient system. Now, I gotta tell you something. It's going to be hard for me to come away from this system because it's so perfect. The handles wrap up around itself. You know, usually I retain the handles with a rubber band. And that keeps it in like the mesh water bottle pocket in the side of the backpacks with the Nalgene bottle inside it. And it's really a one-stop shop for me. And what I try to do is I also put like either a food kit or a fire kit inside a water bottle, just as an example. But there's several different things you can do with this because it's so versatile. But this is an awesome step up from that. This would be more of like a car camping kind of thing, or just a backyard outdoor type of thing or whatever. But if I had to watch every pound and every specific piece of gear, I wouldn't want to bring this. I would not want to bring that. It's just, for me, it's just not worth the size. And since it can't slide over my Nalgene bottles, at least the size that I use, and I don't want to compromise on the size of Nalgene bottles that I use, since it doesn't work that way, this bulky item would have to go in the pack. Could I get creative and, like I said, put a fire or a fire kit, stuff a first aid kit in it, the stoves? Sure, I could. but I don't really want to do that because this is a bulky item, okay? I mean, it's just looking at it here, it's probably about something like 6 by 3, give or take. And it's good for what it is. I definitely wouldn't run the cups. They're too heavy. They're just too heavy. That's all the weight of the whole system. These 2 cups probably weigh more than that, and that doesn't make any sense. You know, I mean, some people are probably into it. I'm sure if it was really cold, you'd be really glad that they're insulated. But hey, if it doesn't have a lid on top of the cup, it defeats the purpose of it being insulated as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, it does help. Any little bit helps to retain the heat and everything. But nevertheless, for me, it just doesn't make any sense. So we're coming along here. I know this is not exciting whatsoever, and I apologize, but that's the beauty of being able to make my own videos however I want and not selling out. Because if I make stupid videos like this, that majority of the people would think it's stupid and pointless, then you know, that's fine, because I do what I want. Where if I chose to sell out for some stupid reason, I would have to be like, well, are my sponsors gonna like me doing this? And I guess I can't do it. Hey, screw that. I do what I want. I'm all about freedom. That's why I love America. And I'm not trying to discredit other nations, you know, that don't have freedom. But nevertheless, you know, freedom is paid for by the people. And if the people aren't willing to stand up for freedom, then you get what you deserve. And that even applies to America. Just turn on the news. It's ridiculous. Not that I turn on the news. I don't need a daily dose of brainwash and lies to tell me what justifications we're doing throughout the world and why it's okay. A little too political there for a little camp cook set type thing. It's really cool. Like when I first saw the stove, you know, and it hit me off guard because of course, like many of you, probably all of you if you're watching this, you know, you go through a Target or something, you're there with your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, and they're doing God knows what, looking at clothes or, you know, whatever. And you're like, okay. It's like I remember when I was a kid, I would leave and go to like the toy section and the outdoor section or whatever with my mom or whoever I was at the grocery store or any type of store or whatever with. And now it's just like I just kind of leave and you know, go and check out my own stuff like gear. And I just happened to walk by and I was like, man, this is cool. Why don't I have this? So I got it and everything, checking it out and stuff. It's pretty cool. I mean, I think for what it's intended for, depending, I think it'll really work out nice. I don't really see any backpacker that I know. I don't see them carrying this. I just don't. I know a lot of lightweight minimalist backpackers. They might go for the cup thing without the lid and maybe make a lid out of foil. I wouldn't go that far. If I was going to bring the cup, I'd bring the lid. But they definitely wouldn't bring those thick plastic insulated mug things. So, and some people might like them. I don't know, but to me, they're just too heavy. I would have liked to seen them made out of steel as well, but I understand the heat would have transferred a lot to those, and you'd have been basically holding something equivalent almost as hot as this cup here. So I understand. I guess, I don't know. Who knows, right? That's not too bad. I don't know how long it's been cooking, but it's on kind of a medium to low heat. My oven is so not calibrated, it's not even funny, so. And it's coming to a nice little rolling, bubbling boil, if you will. So, stir it up. And we'll bring the bowl into the mix. Alright. Let's see how we do it here. That's hot on my fingers. It's burning the crap out of me. So, something else I'm not too fond of is inside there, the bottom is actually stepped up, and that's hard to clean it around. I wish it was flat like the stainless cup. That makes it a lot easier to access everything. But all in all, it's pretty decent. That's the Stanley camp cup, grill cup, whatever they want to call it. But hope you didn't find this video too boring. Thank you very much for watching. It's like I always say, let's all learn from each other. Joe Tactical.